Calaroga Shark Media.
From New York City, where someone has to be mayor, I guess, this is Ballot.
That's right. Imagine every choice being terrible. What is this? The presidential election? Let's hit this. Hi, I'm Patrick Gutfield, and President Trump is threatening to arrest New York City's Democratic mayoral nominee, Zohran Mamdani, if he refuses to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement. Speaking at a detention center, Trump said, "Well then, we'll have to arrest him. I'll be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation." Trump also claimed a lot of people are saying Mamdani is in the country illegally, which is completely false. Mamdani is a naturalized U.S. citizen who came to the United States at age 7 with his parents, filmmaker Mira Nair and Columbia University professor Mahmoud Mamdani. So Trump is basically threatening to arrest a citizen for following local law. The 33-year-old state assemblyman beat former Governor Andrew Cuomo in the Democratic primary, which apparently sent some Republicans into a tailspin. Trump also called Mamdani a communist on Fox News, which is wrong. Mamdani is a democratic socialist, which is different from communism in the same way that a cheeseburger is different from a car. Both involve things, but they're not the same thing. But nuance isn't exactly Trump's strong suit. The really interesting part is that Trump is backing current mayor Eric Adams, who's running as an independent after leaving the Democratic Party. Trump said he helped him out a little bit when Adams had a problem. That sounds like the plot of Godfather 4. The November election is shaping up to be quite a contest. Mamdani as the Democratic nominee, Adams as an independent, Curtis Sliwa, the Guardian Angels guy from the 80s as the Republican candidate who refuses to drop out, and possibly Cuomo mulling his own independent bid. It's like a political reality show, except with less love and less island, unless you count Manhattan. Elon Musk is having what can only be described as a very public political tantrum. After spending $288 million to help get Trump elected, Musk is now threatening to start his own political party because Republicans aren't cutting spending fast enough for his liking. This is the same guy who bought Twitter for $44 billion and renamed it X, so clearly rational decision-making isn't his strong suit. Now he's mad that Congress passed a spending bill and is promising to primary every Republican who voted for it. He posted on his platform, every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and then immediately voted for the biggest debt increase in history should hang their head in shame. The irony here is delicious. A man worth $400 billion is lecturing people about fiscal responsibility. That's like Jeff Bezos giving a seminar on living paycheck to paycheck. Musk has already picked his first target, Representative Thomas Massie from Kentucky, one of the few Republicans actually opposing Trump's agenda. So Musk is going after the guy who's doing exactly what Musk claims he wants, cutting spending. You can't make this stuff up. Trump allies are already mocking Musk's third-party threat. Trump pollster Jim McLaughlin said, "I think it's the ketamine talking in the middle of the night," which is the kind of burn that would get you blocked on social media if you weren't already famous. And let's be honest about third parties in America. They're where political dreams go to die. Ross Perot got 19% of the vote in 1992 and 0 electoral votes. The most successful third-party candidates in American history are basically footnotes who accidentally changed elections. The Dalai Lama held what can only be described as the world's most spiritually significant planning meeting this week in Dharamshala, India. At 89 years old, he's trying to figure out how to reincarnate without giving China a chance to pick his replacement. And yes, this is a real political problem we're dealing with in 2025. Here's the situation. The Dalai Lama has been living in exile for over half a century after fleeing Tibet when China invaded. Now he's getting older and needs to make sure that when he dies and comes back, as Tibetan Buddhists believe he will, China doesn't just install their own guy and call it a day. So he gathered senior monks this week to announce that yes, the institution of the Dalai Lama will continue after he's gone, and no, China gets absolutely no say in who that person will be. He was very clear about this. No one else has any such authority to interfere in this matter. China's response was basically, hold our tea. A foreign ministry spokeswoman said the reincarnation has to be approved by the central government. The central government of an officially atheist country. They're literally saying, we don't believe in your religion, but we're definitely in charge of it. The whole thing gets even weirder when you realize the timeline involved. Traditionally, they don't start looking for the new Dalai Lama until after the current one dies. Then it can take years to find the right child and more than a decade to train them. The Dalai Lama has previously suggested some creative solutions, like finding his successor while he's still alive, or maybe having a female Dalai Lama for the first time. But this week, he indicated he'll stick with tradition. The Dalai Lama is celebrating his 90th birthday this week, so he's clearly thinking about legacy planning. Most people his age are worried about their retirement accounts. He's worried about making sure his soul doesn't get hijacked by the Chinese government. Portions of today's program were made with the help of AI. We're taking a 3-day weekend for the 4th of July to make up for all the one-day weekends we have because Trump likes to make news on Saturdays. See you Monday.
You know the silhouette, the squint, the voice that cuts like a blade. Clint Eastwood isn't just a movie star. He's a myth, a mayor, a cultural fault line, and maybe the last great American icon. Eastwood Reloaded tells his story one chapter at a time. The hits, the flops, the chaos between the scenes. Because legends aren't born, they're built. Eastwood Reloaded. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
You can call me James. I spent 23 years designing aircraft that officially don't exist for agencies you think TV made up. Until I started asking the wrong questions. Navy ships are recording objects moving at impossible speeds. Infrastructure is failing in coordinated patterns. The moon looks smaller than it did 10 years ago. None of this is a coincidence. The official explanations don't add up. This is Paranormal Aliens, where we connect the dots they don't want connected. If you're hearing this, you know where to get podcasts. Follow Paranormal Aliens. New episodes weekly until they shut me down.
Hey, my name is John Podhoretz. I'm the host of the Commentary Magazine Daily Podcast. We try every day to give you a sense of where America is, where the world is, where Donald Trump is, where the Democrats are, where the Republicans are, where American society is and where it's headed. Lively, significant, important topics of discussion. Please subscribe, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts, the Commentary Magazine Daily Podcast.